Welcome back to another episode of For the Record. I am Dwayne, your host. It's been a minute. I know I'll get into that later in future episodes, but not today. My question is, why are we listening to celebrities?
This episode of For the Record is brought to you by the Boss Move Studios, your content concierge.
There was over 10 million people entered our country illegally. That's a lot of people. Each president has deported more immigrants than the current administration. But they will say Donald Trump is evil for enforcing border control. So people are protesting. They're mad that ICE is doing their jobs. And we actually have people out here protecting murderers and pedophiles. Don't even know why they're doing so. You know why? Because a celebrity told them to do so. Because they listened to the words of celebrities. Recently, somebody cornered Kirk Franklin somewhere. I'm not sure where he was. But they asked him, what should the church be doing right now? What should Christians be doing right now? And this is what he said.
What is your beliefs on what the church should be doing in regards to this climate?
I think that we should be intentional about being very vocal about that. First of all, Jesus' mom and daddy were immigrants. So, but we need to be
Not
very.
Mary and Joseph. You better.
So
let 'em know.
we just need to be very careful to not be arrogant and prideful. And I think that we need to get in the streets and to be able to save and love as many people as we can.
And this Negro said it with a dramatic pause and cocked his head like this. Like, that's biblical. You know, I like Kirk Franklin. I like his music. I used to listen to his music. It has guided me through some times back in the day. You know, the song Imagine. Imagine me being free. Something like that was my song. I like that song. Listen to the words. I like Smile. You know, it's important to smile. It's very important to smile. But Kurt, what you just said makes no sense. None whatsoever. So he's referring to Jesus' mom and dad. He said mama and daddy were immigrants. Jesus' mama and daddy were immigrants. And he's talking about the two accounts in the Bible that I know of when they traveled from Nazareth to Bethlehem for the census. Right? Do you know how long that trip was? Approximately 90 miles. 90 miles. So I live in Orlando, Florida. So 90 miles. Let me see what's 90 miles. Let me just check something real quick. What is 90 miles from Orlando? So 90 miles from Orlando is Tampa. Tampa, Florida. Hour and a half away. So if I travel 90 miles, I am still in the state of Florida. Back, now I'm in a car, which will take an hour and a half. Back then they were on foot, road, whatever, however they got there. Approximately 84 to 90 miles from here is Tampa. I'm still within Florida. I'm still in the United States. That does not make me an immigrant. That's not truth. The second account that he could be talking about was when they were fleeing from Herod. They fled from Bethlehem to Egypt, which is about 400 miles. If you go in your Bible, they got a little scale to where you can, kind of get a biblical mile or so. So, what is the distance? Okay, the distance from Egypt, the distance from Bethlehem to Egypt was approximately 300 to 400 miles. Let me ask Google. I'm not even going to Chat GPT. 300 miles from Orlando. Let's see. So you're talking about Miami. I'm still within Florida. So from Orlando to Miami, it's about 300 miles. If I wanted to go to the Keys, it's about 400 miles, which is a day's trip. I am still in Florida. I'm still in the United States. So by him saying that Jesus' mom and daddy were immigrants is false. It's unbiblical. He should be ashamed of himself. Just to make a point, just to drop the mic, that's what he said. And then he gave a dramatic pause and did his head like this. That's not truth. And it's dangerous to follow these people because we're allowing them to influence our thinking, right? When we do that, we don't have an opinion of our own. We have to be very careful because a lot of times they just want the clout. They want to be known for sticking with the culture, which is very dangerous, following the crowd. Should never do that. They want to be known for having the most followers or saying the most profound thing. But again, you should take it with a grain of salt because it's dangerous. You get on these podcasts, you get on these award shows, and they just spout anything that will come out of their mouth. But some of them are sincere about what they're saying. There's a podcast called the Pivot Podcast, hosted by some former athletes. I believe all of them played in the NFL. Recently, Channing Crowder, he's a former Florida Gator. He played for the Miami Dolphins. Millions of people watch this podcast. A lot of people. I'm talking about aspiring athletes from probably high school, college, just people in general watch this podcast. And he was talking, they sat down with Bud Crawford, the boxer, and he actually said that, no, don't listen to what I said. Listen to what he said. Let me roll the clip. This is what he said recently on a podcast.
I always say everything got a price. Because people say, like, I love my dog. I get $100. No, I get $1,000. No, I get $100,000. Hey, you can have him. Like, my thought is everything has a price. There is not a number that can get you back in that ring. 80 million, 100 million.
Nah, because now you selling your soul.
$100 million, you can have my soul.
That's you. Now we know your character.
So dude said $100 million, you can have my soul. Bud Crawford had a very good response. He said, now we know your character. So for $100 million, he will sell out. That's his sellout number, right? He will do anything for $100 million. That's scary. Because some people have that to spend. You feel me? Some people have that to spend. And if they presented Mr. Crowder with $100 million, he'll do anything. That's what selling your soul means. Now, he might have said it lightly, but that's irresponsible to say on camera in front of thousands, or I don't know how many people saw that episode, potentially millions, because the clip has been shared all over social media. Dangerous to listen to celebrities. They will have you in a bind. They will have you, as the old people say, you'll be in a pickle messing around with them. Because what that teaches you is compromise. Compromise yourself for money. What it teaches also is young people to devalue their principles for money. That's not good. That's why I'm saying when you listen with a grain of salt, because some of this information is dangerous to your salvation. So if Crowder has a sellout number, what's my sellout number? You know, people probably discuss this at the water cooler. I'm sure people discuss what Kirk Franklin said at the water cooler. Just imagine you pull up, you're at work, and you say, Jesus' mom and daddy were immigrants, people might say, you got a point, especially if they agree with what's going on, the protests and whatnot. But there's also people that will do their own research, and that should be you, not easily influenced by celebrities, but to be able to make an informed decision of your own. Then you got him saying, $100 million, you can have my soul. Just to live comfortable here on earth. Just to be popular. Just to be invited to the cookout. Just to not be canceled. This is what I'm going to say. They don't have a moral obligation to you. You have a moral obligation to yourself. Be true to yourself. Would you sell out for $100 million? What is your sellout number? Drop it in the comments. What is your sellout number? Here's is 100 million. Is it 1 million? Is it 500 million? 1 billion. Very dangerous. And that's why I'm stressing this point. Do not listen to these celebrities. Do not be influenced. Do not be influenced. Study for yourself. Study to show thyself approved. Dangerous, man. Dangerous. And then, like I said, I'm a fan of Kirk Franklin. I didn't watch Mr. Crowder play, but I know, he played for the Dolphins. I'm a Florida boy. I like Florida teams. He went to UF. I have family members that graduated from UF. So people are fans of these celebrities and will take what they say as the gospel. Malcolm X warned us years ago of why you shouldn't listen to celebrities, right? Let me roll this clip. Malcolm X.
I just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
So Malcolm X clearly stated that you shouldn't listen to these celebrities. Why are celebrities being listened to? Why are we letting celebrities influence our thinking, the way we raise our family, the way we raise our children, the way we govern our family, how we vote, how we think, what we should wear? We get all of these opinions from the TV, online, the media. And we're allowing this to come into our minds and into our hearts, and then we govern ourselves by it instead of doing our own research, instead of listening to those that have a moral compass about them. And again, when you listen to man, just a grain of salt, because you should do your own research, unless you know it's truth. Unless you know it is truth, then you can follow. But if something sounds strange, you should question it. You should speak up. And a lot of times we don't speak up with the fear of not being invited to the barbecue. I'm not going to the barbecue. I'm a vegetarian anyway. You feel me? I don't care about a black card. My wife is black. I graduated from a black college. I graduated from a black high school. The junior high school I went to was probably 85% black. So in my estimation, I'm black. I don't need to have a black card. I don't need to be invited to your cookout. That's why I say what I want to say. I'm trying to be respectful, of course, But I will not go with the masses. I will not follow the crowd. Never have, never will. And that's where we fall. That's where we make those mistakes. Following the crowd or going with something just to be liked, just to be popular, just to get some more Facebook friends and retweets, mic drops, posting things that is not true. And if you look at it, you know it's not true. You have AI today. So much AI fake news is going on. But I'm going to post it because Ricky Smiley said so, or D.L. Hughley. Back in the day, the king had court gestures to entertain him and to entertain the audience. That's what comedians were. I'm not negating their hard work and accomplishments. Please don't think that's what I'm saying. But what I am saying is you got to be careful of listening to them. A court jester's job was to make the king laugh, to make you laugh. So tell them to do their job. I don't want your opinion, Plies. I don't want your opinion, Ricky Smiley, Michael Baston, who else? D.L. Hughley. Because a lot of times these people are being paid to give you this false information. And we eat it up. We eat it up like we've been fasting for 48 hours a week. But then you have celebrities that are responsible. Not saying they're perfect, but have an opinion. When asked of their opinion, they say things that are sensible. Recently, I don't know if this was at the Grammys, but they tried to corner Kevin Gates into saying some dumb shit. This is what he said.
Platforms should be utilized.
You want me to be honest?
Be real. That's all you can be.
This is what I do.
What you
It's
do?
the best advice.
What's the best advice?
I mind the business that pays me. I get up in the morning, I pray, and I work.
So Kevin Gates said, I mind the business that pays me. That's some solid advice. That's some solid advice. He said, I get up, I work out, and I pray. I don't know what order, but that's what he said. Solid advice for a celebrity to say on camera that could be retweeted, reshared millions of times. Now, I'm sure he, some stuff he said don't make sense or you shouldn't listen to, but in that instance, he said something that is not harmful. Mind the business that pays you. That's smart to me, because that's what I do. I'm not all in other people's business. I'm not. Elvis was a hero to most. Like Public Enemy said, some of us, you may not like Elvis, but he also had an opinion. Being a big celebrity in his day, they asked him about the war and protesting. And again, responsible response. He had a responsible response. This is what he said.
Hey, Mr. Presley, what is your opinion of war protesters? And would you today refuse to be drafted?
Honey, I just tend to keep my own personal views about that to myself. Because I'm just an entertainer, and I'd rather not.
So Elvis said he's just an entertainer, which means he's going to stay in his lane. He's here to entertain, play his guitar, sing his music, go after the girls. I almost said something else, but yeah. Get girls, or whatever. That was his thing. You research Elvis, you know what he was into. But again, that wasn't a reckless statement. I'm sure other things that Mr. Presley has done is public knowledge that we shouldn't follow. But in this particular case, on camera, that's what he said. Kevin Gates, reasonable response. Elvis Presley, reasonable response. Malcolm X said that we shouldn't listen to those anyway. Why we got leaders? Another time Malcolm X talked about why the black people have leaders. You don't have no Asian leader, no Spanish leader. the white leader. But black people, we for some reason, we have leaders. And the leaders that we have appointed or they have self-appointed themselves are not here for you. They're not coming to save you. They're not. But we take the words and we live by it. We take the words and we retweet, repost hateful comments, hateful views, unbiblical thoughts. You at the water cooler spreading false information. But if you just had done a minute research, could have been dispelled. We have these phones that you can Google something and get the answer in minutes, seconds. When I was growing up, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have Google. We didn't have computers. We had to go to the library, read newspapers, the encyclopedia, dictionaries, but we got to the truth. The world has not just started in this computer age. We had to dig for information. When we did that, we were able to have an informed opinion of our own, not those that are influenced by celebrities that you've never met. Never met. But you want to cancel those that tell the truth. Because a lie is so comfortable. It's like a nice warm bed on a snowy day. You laid up in a lie so comfortably, dozing in and out, snoring, slobbering everywhere. But the truth is like laying on the floor. No pillow, no sheet, nothing under you but the cold, hard floor sometimes. It hurts. The truth can hurt. But the truth also will set you free. And that's what we want to do on For the Record. I don't want to just put out shows to talk about stuff that don't make sense, but I want to just come at it from a different perspective of digging for truth. That's what this show is going to be about. I know it's been a long time since our last broadcast, but I just want to thank you today for joining me on this episode of For the Record. Please, I'm looking for my audience. Where are you? If you're here, hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, share this video, because that's what I want to do. I just want to share, promote, and find the truth and not to be influenced by others. So thank you for joining me on this episode. Look out for me next time. I'll see you later. Peace.
For the Record Podcast.